All right, let's talk about one of those stories you think you know, Aesop's fable of the fox and the grapes. But we're not going to treat it like some dusty old children's story. Instead, we're going to see it for what it is, a powerful mental model. It's a key that unlocks a really fascinating and, yeah, sometimes a little uncomfortable part of our own psychology. So, let me ask you something. Have you ever decided you didn't really want something right after you found out you couldn't have it? You know, that promotion you didn't get? That person who just wasn't interested? Suddenly it's like, wasn't that into it anyway. We've all been there. And that exact feeling, that's what we're digging into today. So, to really get what's going on here, we have to go back to the original story. It's an old one for sure, but trust me, the details are everything. Okay, so the scene is set. We've got our fox, and he spots this amazing bunch of grapes hanging from a vine way up high. And the story makes it super clear. These aren't just any old grapes. They're magnificent, they're ripe, they look absolutely delicious. The prize is legit, valuable, no question about it. And what does the fox do? He doesn't even think twice. He's confident, right? He crouches down, gets ready, and he leaps. He totally goes for it, and nope, falls short. And right there, that's the first clash between his ambition and his reality. But here's what's so important. He doesn't just give up after one try. Oh no, he tries again and again. He is putting everything he's got into it, just completely exhausting himself. You can feel the struggle, right? He really, really wants those grapes. But it doesn't matter. The result is the same. Failure. They're just too high. And then comes the moment, the punchline we all know. After all that work, all that jumping, the fox just stops. But he doesn't slink away with his tail between his legs. Instead, he just kind of sniffs, turns his nose up, and says it. They're probably sour anyway. He completely changes the story in his own head. The thing he just wanted so badly, suddenly it's worthless. And that's the pitch. So let's break this down. What is actually happening here? Because this isn't just a fable about a hungry fox. It's a perfect little case study of a mental trick, a defense mechanism that you and I use all the time. At its core, this whole thing is about self-deception. Lying to ourselves, basically. The fox just can't handle the simple truth. I failed. It hurts his pride, his ego. So to protect himself, he invents a new, more convenient reality. A reality where the grapes were never any good to begin with. It's so much easier to say the goal sucks than it is to admit I wasn't good enough. And guess what? There is a fancy psychological term for this. It's called cognitive dissonance. It's that cringy, uncomfortable feeling you get when you have two ideas in your head that just don't match up. And our brains absolutely hate that feeling. They can't stand the tension, so they scramble to fix it. And they'll almost always take the easiest way out. The fox's situation is a textbook example. Think about it. He's got belief number one. I'm a smart, athletic, awesome fox. Then he's got reality number two. I just totally failed to get those grapes. See the problem? Those two thoughts are in conflict. So he has a choice. He could change belief number one and think, maybe I'm not as great as I thought. But man, that stings. That's a direct hit to the ego. Or he can change his view of reality number two. He can say, you know what? Those grapes are disgusting and sour. I didn't even want them. Boom, conflict gone. The price? A little bit of honesty. Okay, so that's the theory. That's the Psych 101 behind it. But how does this ancient fable actually show up in our modern lives? Well, once you start looking for this sour grapes trap, you're going to see it absolutely everywhere. Seriously, it pops up in all corners of our lives. Let's take personal goals, like getting fit. When it gets really hard, it's so easy to just go, ugh, all this obsession with fitness is just shallow vanity anyway, right? That's the sour grapes excuse. The honest way is to say, okay, this plan isn't working for me, let's adapt it. Or how about at work? You can't seem to connect with a really successful colleague. The easy out is to just label them arrogant. The harder, more honest reframe is to ask, okay, how can I approach this differently? And professionally, this is a classic. Your team's big proposal gets shot down. You can either say, the client's an idiot, they only like flashy, superficial ideas. Or you can actually look at your proposal and figure out where its weaknesses are. See the pattern? So these are the red flags you gotta watch out for, in yourself and in others. When you start denying that better things even exist, when you refuse to do any kind of self-assessment after you fail, when you start blaming everyone else for your own shortcomings, or, and this is a big one, when you start acting all cynical and jaded and call it being wise. That's it. That's the sour grapes trap in action. Okay, so spotting the trap is the first half of the battle, but how do you actually get out of it? Or better yet, avoid it in the first place? Well, there's a pretty clear strategy for building a much healthier response to failure. It's like a four-step antidote. First up, acknowledge. Just be honest with yourself. Yeah, the grapes were ripe. That goal was important. Admit it. Step two, analyze. Look, failure is just feedback. It's data. It's telling you your method was wrong, not that you are wrong. It's not a verdict on your character. Third, adapt. The fox just kept jumping higher. That's brute force. If jumping isn't working, maybe you need a ladder, right? Get creative. Find a new strategy. And finally, number 4, aspire. Just because you failed this time doesn't mean the goal itself is now worthless. Keep valuing it. Keep aiming for it. And this quote really just nails it, doesn't it? Maybe the true sourness lies in the bitterness of the quitter, not the fruit. Wow. The problem was never the grapes. The real poison, the real sourness, is that cynical, bitter attitude that settles in when we just give up and pretend we never cared in the first place. So when you boil it all down, what's the big takeaway? The story of the fox isn't some permission slip to quit. It's the opposite. It's a mirror. It forces us to be honest about why we failed and to get smarter and more creative about how we try again. So the next time you're facing a goal that seems just out of reach, you have to ask yourself a very simple question. Are the grapes really sour, or do I just need to go find a ladder?